progress.
Warm welcome to you, all of you who are here. The FGS Accelerator, the Impact Accelerator, is not for everyone. It is for the most dedicated, the most committed amongst you who want to go further, who want to go to that finish line of impact, and that is why we're here today. We're kicking off today with the first General Assembly. There will be 2 of them, and we'll explain exactly how it's going to work, and we're going to focus today on really zeroing in on the specific goal that you will achieve by the 15th of October and that you will be accountable for, but that you're going to set today right after this session. So first of all, a resource folder has been shared and will be shared by email. You'll find the recordings, the slide decks, everything you need. But I want to emphasize that this is not a training, meaning that this is not about giving you information. This is about encouraging you, helping you find your own motivation to go further, to take the action plan that you did back in May. And many of you have done already remarkable things. And this time to go further together, being connected to each other. So last Wednesday, of course, I spent some time explaining the sort of short history of the Geneva Learning Foundation's Impact Accelerator. It's really that system to achieve impact better and faster and to do it together. It's about tapping into your own resources, into your own capacity. And right now, this 2-week sequence is what we call the launch pad. And as its name indicates, we want to help you. We want to help you help yourself really get off to a good start or accelerate if you've already done quite a bit with respect to your action plan. So you can see here 2 weeks of goal-focused, peer-led. That means you, collaboration and support for field implementation. So there will not be many. There are only 2 sessions where we will reconnect. We'll come together as a community. There are 4 components. Pledge, where Charlotte is going to share the Scholar Pledge in a minute. Measurement is about we're going to ask you to complete questionnaires and tell us how you're doing and tell us what progress you're making and tell us what successes, challenges, and lessons learned. But it's not only for us. It is information about your progress that will be shared with your peers. In the same way, sharing is really the 3rd component, and it is what we're doing today during this assembly, and we'll do again next Tuesday in the next assembly. Your 4th component is really the heart and soul of the FGS Accelerator is about mobilization. It's about action. It's about setting in motion yourself and others in order to go faster, to do better. Now, Charlotte is going to share with us what is the pledge that each and every FGS scholar has made in order to join the accelerator.
Okay, Reda. I am committed to work for a world where everyone, everywhere is protected from neglected tropical diseases, and especially female genital schistosomiasis. As a scholar, I hereby solemnly pledge to work with others to transform projects led by scholars into actions and results that will improve health outcomes. Share my success as well as my challenges by reporting on a regular basis on my progress towards implementation, and support fellow scholars in doing the same while upholding the highest standard of integrity and behavior. I make this pledge to contribute to the global goals for the health of women, men, girls, and boys in my country and everywhere. Thank you, Reda.
Each and every one of you, in the process of completing your application, has made this commitment, has taken this pledge to each other, this pledge to the women, men, girls, and boys in your country, and that is the basis for convening the FGS Accelerator. Again, I'm pleased to share the names of the scholars who were accepted into the accelerator. So for the Anglophones, there are 44 of you. As you can see, it is not for everyone. So you are one of the few who has that commitment, who took the time to complete the application. But as you did, you thought about the commitment and what difference you want to make, what difference you might already be making with respect to female genital schistosomiasis and the 56 women and girls who are affected by it. Now, let's get down to business. We have a clear timeline and we have a clear agenda. It is only 2 weeks. So do not let yourselves be overwhelmed. We know you are busy. We know you have a full-time job. We know you may have a family. You have a personal life. But this is a commitment that you made. We asked you if you wanted to make it, and you opted in to make it. That is very important. This week, we want to focus. You gave a goal in the application, and we're going to talk about those goals. But this week is actually about starting to take action. So figuring out, what are you going to do? Today's already Tuesday. What are you going to do Wednesday? What are you going to do Thursday? What are you going to do Friday that will help take forward your action plan? That is what today's session is really about. And if this has not crystallized yet for you, you need to do it now because time is short. And we're going to talk about reviewing your goal to see if this is something that is truly achievable by the 15th of October. If it's not, you can keep your goal as a longer term goal. But we want you to set something, define something that you'll be able to achieve within 2 weeks, because we're going to hold you accountable. At the end of the Launchpad, we'll be asking you, so did you do it? How did it turn out? What have you learned? What has changed? And what are you going to do differently? How are you going to take this forward? So that is the purpose of the Launchpad. So I want to turn now to those of you, to the FGS scholars who've joined the accelerator, and would like to, we need a first volunteer. So please do raise your hand if you'd like to answer these questions. These were shared by email shortly before the session. So if you haven't had a chance to look at them yet, please do so now. And we're going to need a volunteer. Otherwise, we will designate a volunteer to share with us their answers to these questions. So really summarize your action plan, and then what are you actually hoping to accomplish by the 15th of October. All right, we're going to wait. All right, Stella, let me see, where is Stella? Yes. All right, Stella, you're going to be, whoops, I think I just accidentally muted you again. Please go ahead and unmute. We'd love to hear from you. The floor is yours. And remember to introduce yourself before you summarize your action plan. Tell us who you are, what you do, where you work.
Good evening, everyone. Evening, because I'm joining in from Malawi and it's around 5 p.m. My name is Stella Lungu. I'm a medical doctor by profession. I'm currently training. I'm in training for a master's program in obstetrics and gynecology. And I'm currently working at Kamuzu Central Hospital. It's a big hospital. It's one of the referral hospitals in Malawi. And it's also a teaching hospital. I was privileged to be part of the previous group when we had the conference on female genital schistosomiasis, the video conference. So from that previous experience, myself and of course a couple of others who had joined in from Malawi, we had identified problems with regards to female genital schistosomiasis, of which one of them was awareness. But that was based on assumption on the small group that had joined that particular conference. So in terms of my action plan, I would like to conduct a baseline knowledge assessment on female genital schistosomiasis. Most initially, the plan was to conduct it at the hospital where I work at. And at the moment, I'm in the process of developing the concept for this program. But thinking of it in the bigger picture, I've thought maybe it would be nice to also extend this to not just the hospital that I'm currently working at, but we can do just the referral hospitals in Malawi, as well as a few academic institutions. The reason for this is because we would like to see whether the problems identified, the assumptions that we had made in terms of our awareness are actually the actual problems on the ground. And from then on, we can carry on to see what kind of programs can be implemented, or what kind of solutions people would actually suggest, so that we can work on that to achieve the goal. But the main goal for these 2 weeks for me is to be able to come up with a concept for female genital schistosomiasis. Yes, which is pretty much a protocol. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Stella. We'll come back. We're going to think together about what it means to set a tangible goal and how you can know if the goal or result has been achieved by the 15th of October, because we will be asking you that. Let's go now to Chinyelu Ekwunife. Chinyelu, the floor is yours. Are you able to unmute? Yes.
Yes. My name is Chinyelu Angela Ekwunife from Nigeria. I teach in the university, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, and I'm a public health parasitologist. My research interest area is schistosomiasis. For the past 10 years, I've been working on schistosomiasis. My problem is that after treating them, they will still go back to the water body to get reinfected. I've tried educating some initially, and also most don't know about female genital schistosomiasis. So my plan now is to, through my students, especially the postgraduate students, we want to organize a sort of an enlightenment program. I've started by injecting female genital schistosomiasis into our curriculum that I've achieved, and we started teaching our students that. But then, in the present action plan, I'm trying to develop a model which we'll use to train the students before they move into the field. So that is the stage where I am now, and it's on model development for training the students and researchers that will move into the field to enlighten the communities that are afflicted with this particular disease. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, applause for our first two presenters. Let's now dig into the following question. Are these goals achievable in 2 weeks? So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different goals, and these are goals that applicants to the FGS Accelerator submitted. And I'd like to ask you to go to the chat, and if you think that these goals are achievable in 2 weeks, type yes. And if you do not think that they are achievable by the 15th of October, then type no. So I'll demonstrate. So go to the chat. All right. Ephraim Senkire says no. All right. And please, everyone, there's 31 people in the room. Now, I know many are SMEs, but it'd be good to hear you. And you may think some of them are yes, some of them are no. So, but overall, what's the tendency? Nikeshi, Linda Emanuel says no. Maria Domako says yes. Okay. All right. And we're looking for something where at the end, you know whether you've done it or not. At the end of just 2 weeks. Chinyelu and Sidonia both say yes. All right. Anyone else? I know we have many more people. Mercy also thinks that these are achievable in 2 weeks. And again, think about the goal that you all received an acknowledgement of receipt, and you can go back and look at what goal did you submit. All right. Most of you seem to be saying yes. Stella says no to all but one. All right. Let's go to Mary Aromako. And hear from her. Mary, how can you pick one of these goals? And I'm asking you to unmute. Can you pick one of them and tell us what makes you think that this goal is achievable within 2 weeks?
Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. My name is Mary from Ghana. I'm a nurse and also a lecturer at one of the schools, but at the moment, I'm not teaching. So my plan now is to get 3 community health nurses, which I've already selected, and I'm doing it virtual because the distance is quite far, so I can't meet them physically. So I've organized to meet them probably this evening. Actually, I'm meeting them this evening, and then arrange another appointment depending on their convenience. The reason why I'm saying it's achievable is that I'm going to give them the information thanks to you that you have enlightened me with, and explain how they can diagnose and also teach their other colleagues. Because before I selected them, I'd already done questions with them, asking them if they had any idea about FGS, and their response was no. And in Ghana, the FGS, you can normally find it in the hinterland and at where the water bodies are. So one community health nurse identified a colleague also who works within such a district, so that it can be more feasible with her as well to be able to work with such people. And they've not been able to diagnose FGS as you mentioned earlier when we started that it's misdiagnosed. So that's the problem. So it's more or less being treated with a STI per se. So I will enlighten them, give them an insight about FGS, the data, and how it can easily be diagnosed, and even the drug is available for them. So I believe within these 2 weeks, I should be able to convey this information to create the awareness to be more helpful in their area of work. Thank you.
Mary, thank you for sharing your goal and explaining why you think it's achievable. Of the 6 that are up on the screen, you answered yes in the chat. What makes you think that what makes you think that these are achievable in such a short time?
Because we already have the literature. When we started, the resource person, the experts gave us the information. They enlighten us about it, the diagnosis, the treatment, and all that. So it's more or less, we are also impacting the information that we have acquired, and also creating the awareness. So unless I have to do more than that, which practically I can't be there at the moment, but with the virtual discussion and showing them the pictures and explaining to them how it can be prevented, I think it can be achievable. Correct me if I'm wrong.
All right. Well, whether or not something is achievable is contingent upon so many different things. But the first thing is, are you convinced that you can do it? And is it realistic? You need the reality check. I can hear that in your voice, Mary, and that is commendable. But I would also urge participants in the FGS Accelerator, the enthusiasm, the motivation is important, but do the reality check. For example, many of you have the intent of creating awareness. And you can see some of the goals that you shared in your applications for the accelerator. So ask yourself, who, how, when, with what resources are you going to do awareness creation? Are you going to create awareness among your colleagues? How much awareness do you need to create? How will you know when your colleagues now have this new awareness? And how do you know that awareness is going to make a difference? So that is another point to think about. We haven't heard from our subject matter experts from the FGS workshop yet, but we will. Before we do, I want to look at a few actually concrete goals. So Rukaya Mumuni in Rukaya's application said the following. You can see here. The goal is to organize and train health staff in the hospital to improve diagnosis and treatment of FGS. So first reality check is, can it be done within 2 weeks? If it takes more than 2 weeks, then scale back, not your ambition, not your motivation, but what you are going to actually do within 2 weeks. So perhaps just think about intermediate steps, small steps that you're going to do. I'm looking, unfortunately, Rukaya is not in the room, although otherwise the point was to go Rukaya. Now, some of you said you wanted to learn from others, share experience, basically. And just a reminder, the accelerator is about action. So sharing experience is a means to an end. It is not an end unto itself. So if you set a goal like this to achieve by the 15th of October, ask yourself, is this the end I want to achieve, the result I want, or is this a means to an end? If it's a means to an end, figure out what you actually want to do by once you've learned from others' experiences, what is it that you want to do? Let's see if Afolabi, yes, all right. So let's hear from Afolabi. Tell us, you said you wanted to fine-tune your data collection instrument and commence data collection. Afolabi, I'm asking you to unmute. I hope we'll be able to hear from you.
Hi, everyone.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Tell us about your goal.
All right. Very good. I'm glad to be here again. I appreciate the last training. Before I am Afolabi Adeola from Nigeria.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Tell us, what are you going to do by 15th of October? All right.
Just by training, I know between it and O&G. A patient with postcoital bleeding that will be thinking of safe service and not the like, I discovered that if we screen some of this patient is actually FGDS. So what I've done so far, my team, I discovered that all the 6 working with me weren't also aware. Now they are aware and they are putting it into practice and at least screening patients and not the like. But what I want to do now is that I want to scale it higher to other gynecologists around and also to the family physicians. So what I plan to do a hospital grand round so that I will sensitize everybody within the premises. But before doing that, I want to use a data collection instrument to gather what they know so far, so that after the training and subsequently in the future, we'll be able to know what we have achieved and what next that we can do. So in these 2 weeks, I believe I'll be able, as at yesterday, I started working on my data collection instrument. So before the end of these 2 weeks, I believe I'll be able to finish this and also to be able to prepare my slide in readiness for the grand round. And within these 2 weeks, I believe I will be able to start the collection of my data. So after the data collection and analysis, I'll be able to do the grand round, and I will be able to get in touch. I'll try and keep in touch with all the trainees so that I'll be sure they are putting whatever they have learned into practice. And subsequently in the future, we'll be able to reappraise what we have been able to achieve. So the data collection is for where we are. I want to know what we can do so that then we'll be able to measure what we have been able to achieve. Thank you for your audience.
Thank you very much. So you have up on your screen, every participant now has a poll with 3 questions. The questions are, question number 1 is, can Afolabi's goal be achieved in 2 weeks? It's a yes, no, so just pick one, whichever one you think is right. And second question is, can you easily tell if the goal has been achieved or not? Will Afolabi be able to say on the 15th of October, if we ask her, did you do this or not? Did you achieve your goal or not? Will she be able to say that? And then question 3, does the author need to revise their goal? Does Afolabi need to rethink, in some way change the goal in order for it to be something she can actually achieve by the 15th of October? So I'll give everyone a little bit more time. So only 12 out of 26 have voted. Just click yes, no for each one. If you're on your phone, you should be able to see the questions, and there are 3 questions. Make sure you submit the poll at the end. All right, half of you have now voted. So can it be achieved in 2 weeks? Yes or no? Can you easily tell if the goal has been achieved or not? And does the author need to revise their goal? And these are exactly the questions that I'd like you to ask about your own goal. Because at the end of this session, we're going to send you by email a personal link and you are going to actually write out, this is what I want to do by the 15th of October. And I can tell you, most of you set very ambitious goals for 2 weeks. And so you may want to consider, rethink, what are you actually going to be to achieve, because we're going to hold you accountable to that. Now I'm going to share the results, and actually you can see there is no clear consensus. You can see here 12 out of 17 do think it can be achieved in 2 weeks. And then more than 3/4 believe that it's a goal that you Afolabi will be able to say, I've fine-tuned my data collection instruments and I've commenced data collection. And then third, nevertheless, more than half of you think that Afolabi needs to revise her goal. So just food for thought. We're not telling you what is the right or the wrong answer to this, but you are going to get a second chance at submitting your goal and reflect on how you decided what to answer to these questions. And then you're going to apply that to your own, to the goal that you set in your application. Now let's see if Hamidat is, no, all right. Let's find someone else who is actually here. Let's see if Samuel is here. All right, and you can see some of the goals here. Ask yourself these questions. Let's see if Mwale. All right, so you can see not everyone is here today. Let's look at wisdom. All right, let's try this one in the absence of wisdom. Wisdom has, as a goal, has set, this will be the opportunity to continue with my change project by forming the advocacy group, having already engaged with my head of department. So let's do the same thing here. The overall question is the goal realistic and feasible? So you want to think about that and then answer the 3 yes/no questions. So can it be done in 2 weeks, forming an advocacy group for Wisdom's change project? Will Wisdom be able to say at the end of the 2 weeks, yes, the advocacy group has formed in support of my change project? And in your opinion, if you're advising, Wisdom comes to you for advice and says, hey, here's my goal. I'm not sure if this is right, if I need to change anything about it. Does Wisdom need to change the goal or not? So I'll let you think about that and answer the questions. And then we're going to ask for a volunteer. I actually don't know how to, let me see how we can do this, yeah. How we can lower all the hands, which is easy to do in Zoom webinars. All right, so we have 10 out of 26. So there's 16 of you who haven't pushed on the buttons yet. Don't be afraid. If you're not sure, you just have to pick one. All right, now 12 out of 26. We've got 14 more who haven't yet pushed on the buttons. Go ahead. And really, this is about thinking about your own goal, because at the end of this session, you're going to be doing exactly that. You're going to get a second chance, and this will be the goal that you will be held accountable for on the 15th of October. On the 15th of October, those of you who've made it, and it won't be everyone, the accelerator is only for the most committed, dedicated, passionate about making a difference for women and girls affected by female genital schistosomiasis. But for those of you who make it, we will come back to you and we will say, well, did you do it? Did you achieve it in 2 weeks? How can you tell that you've actually achieved what you said you would? And it can be a very modest goal. Present to my head of department, form an advocacy group. So, all right, we are over half have now completed the polls. So let's see. So most of you think that this is achievable within 2 weeks. Most of you, but again, you have 40% who say that it won't be easy to tell if this goal has been achieved. And then 2/3 of you still think that Wisdom will need to revise the goal. So let's go to let's see. Please raise your hand. Let's go to Judith. We heard from Judith at the special event last Wednesday. Judith, what would be if Wisdom comes to you for advice and says, Judith, I listened to you last Wednesday at the special event. What tell me, is my goal realistic and feasible? Do I need to change it? What would be your response and why?
Yeah, thank you, Reda. Good afternoon, Judith from Cameroon. I think from the look of things, it's not very clear, because with the goal, I think we need to actually see some end points. Yes, because we don't know exactly. It's not specific. I think we will consider revision to make it more specific, and what exactly the focus point, how the advocacy is going to be done. I think so. So he definitely needs some revision.
Okay. All right. That is, yep. And someone else may have a completely different perspective. The point is to keep, to keep moving, and to work with the goals that you have set. Now, I am actually
maybe he needs to revise it. Let's see the specificity of it. But if he revises, it will be very possible, because it looks you need to integrate a lot of talk, a lot of scenarios in place. So maybe some specifics will help.
Yeah, indeed. All right. So I am having a technical issue, and this happens to all of us, yes, including me. So at this stage, it's very strange. I'm actually no longer able to change slides or do much of anything on my on my computer. Let me see if I can switch machines, but let's hear from someone else. Charlotte, if you could unmute someone else who has their hands raised, and let's hear them. If you could ask them to share their goal, and then to also share if they're going to revise their goal, what they can actually achieve by the 15th of October.
Okay, Reda, I'm going to invite Mercy Poku from Ghana. Your hand has been raised. Mercy, over to you.
Yes, I'm from Ghana, Accra, from the Nursing and Midwifery Training College, Pantine. And our first goal, objective was to have training for the teachers, faculty of this school. So we did successfully, and we came to a conclusion that we'll have to have training for our students right away, especially those in the final year and subsequently the continuing students. However, as soon as the final year are trained, before the year ends, we'll have a community education with having collaboration with the District Health Assembly here, so that we can find the appropriate community to start community education on FGS. For now, apart from that, we in these 2 weeks, we'll be able to train only the final year students. And the second objective will be to have a meeting with the District Health Assembly to help us pick a community that can be appropriate to have the FGS education, with our students and faculty being members of the educators doing the community education. Charlotte.
Okay, thank you very much, Mercy. And listening to you, you're showing us that you started actually acting on your action plan after the FGS workshop, and you're going to continue. And within 2 weeks, what you want to attain is to train the final year students. So I see, Reda, I hope the technical issues are being resolved. Okay, so I can then hand over to you.
All right, let's go to some of our SMEs, so we call them subject matter experts, and having heard some of the or several of the goals, the very ambitious objectives that participants are setting for themselves in the for the Accelerator Launchpad, would love to have perhaps let's start with Julie Jacobson. In your experience, what would be your advice, your feedback in response to the goals that participants are setting to achieve in the next 2 weeks?
Thanks, Reda. Excellent, really excellent work and great ideas about how to approach this. And I love the diversity of the answers of the people that are participating in the accelerator. So thank you for your ideas and your enthusiasm. I think I like that there's an ambition that goes beyond the 2 weeks, and then an idea of thinking of what you can achieve within this 2 weeks. So for Stella, for example, I think Caroline also put into the chat that perhaps creating your survey tool, and depending on how complex it is, getting that piloted in your hospital could be very attainable within the next 2 weeks, and then planning to roll that out into other places after that may be a way to modify that goal to make something achievable within be successful at the 2 week time, because I think your overall plan is excellent. I'm not going to be able to say your name, from Nigeria, the parasitologist. Great idea of working for a module, and there are tools that could be provided that will help. Mary, the training, the ideas are just great, and I think that coming up with something that would be very concrete and that you could benefit from the input of we as SMEs and your peers during this 2 week period would be great. So how can thinking about how this time frame could be really helpful to you in providing the input that would make your work of trying to achieve your goal more successful. I think that's what would be my advice to all of the participants so far. So thanks for all the great ideas, and we're here to help.
Thank you, Julie. Let's go to Margaret Giapong. Margaret, a warm welcome to you. You've been listening to these ambitious goals. What's your feedback? What's your advice, guidance? What experience can you share that will help support participants thinking through what they can achieve and how to go about it?
Thank you very much, Reda, and congratulations to all of you for the beautiful plans that you have shared. I can see it at different levels, at the community level, at the health system level with colleague health workers, and then also at the training institutions with students and even some of the faculty, which is quite exciting, and it's moving in the direction that we are thinking of with the FAST package. And I think at some point we'll share the link with the website where we've put all the resources that you can think of there that you can pick up. But like everybody has said, you want to be sure that you can achieve your goals. 2 weeks is a very short time. The ideas are very interesting, but just make sure that you do not bite more than you can chew, so that at the end of the day, you are able to achieve the goals that you've set yourself. Very interesting ideas, but take it one step at a time so that you don't get too disappointed or overwhelmed when you are not able to achieve it, or then you start putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to be able to achieve it. I heard somebody talk about a survey and community education. And I remember when we were doing the training, we were talking about issues of funding and where you have, whether you have funding to do some of these things or not. So it will be interesting to share some of these ideas about how you are using your internally generated funds or whatever innovative approaches you are using to be able to support some of these things. A survey is not cheap. Community education is not cheap. How are you going to be able to achieve them? But otherwise, I think you are doing a great job. Well done to all of you.
Thank you very much, Margaret, for this, and Julie for this feedback. Let me tell you briefly what we're going to do next, and then we'll hear more. First of all, for participants in the accelerator, these are the next 4 questions we'd like you to take on. So not only, the idea is to really break it down to day by day. You've got what you want to do by the 15th of October. And now we're asking you, what are you doing today? What are you doing Wednesday? What are you doing Thursday? What are you doing Friday that will help you get to your goal for the 15th of October? So being very concrete, and we'll come back to these 4 questions because right after this first General Assembly, you're going to receive an email with a personalized link. So don't share the link because it is only for you. And we have 2 questions. So very simple questionnaire. First of all, what's the specific goal you will achieve by October 15th? You said something in the application. but it may be more concrete for you to think now what it really in the coming by October 15th. That's just that is 10 days from now, including weekends. What are you going to have done? And you will be held accountable to the goal that you set here. And then second is focusing on this week. So it's already Tuesday. What are you going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? And again, we want you to be very concise. You can put no more than 60 characters. And if the action doesn't make sense, it's not coherent, we don't understand it, we may get in touch with you, but basically there's a chance that you will disqualify yourself from the accelerator. So do think carefully about what you put in. The goal for the 15th of October, and then the actual things you're going to do, you want to get done this week. We ask you for one action. That may be realistic. We know that you are working full time. We know that you have a life, a social life, probably a family. And then what you'll get in terms of that will help you be accountable is you'll get an email notification summarizing what you said you would do by the 15th of October and the specific action this week. And you can refer back to this and ask yourself, am I making progress on this or not? Is it, and if I'm stuck, then what we'll do is this is also about supporting each other. So it's not only about holding you accountable, it's also about supporting each other. And that means that in Tuesday's assembly on the 12th, we will be asking you to share. How did it go? How did it turn out? And some of you may not make it, but please do come and tell us that so we can figure out how to support you. And there may be subject matter experts or colleagues, peers in the room who say, well, I can help with that. I can help you, or I've done this and here's what worked for me. So that's what we'll be doing 1 week from now. So that's laying out what's ahead of us. In the 20 remaining minutes, we're now going to go to you, those of you who have your hands raised. I believe we first have a comment from Joseph Opare, who has a hand raised. So Joseph, please unmute yourself. Would love to hear from you. All right, Joseph. Okay, maybe this was by accident. All right, let's go to...
Okay, hello.
Yes, Joseph,
I'm
yes.
I'm
all right.
on. Yeah, so thank you very much for the opportunity. I wanted to say that those of us from Ghana, right? From Ghana, in the Ghana Health Services, we have a well-established female genital schistosomiasis expert committee, which is seated at the office of the Neglected Tropical Disease Program. So all those from Ghana who probably wish to do education somewhere, especially I think I heard of Stella who wanted to do a training at Pantine, I think nursing school. Yeah, you could get in touch so that we could come in with a facilitation. So we could assist with the facilitation. That is the Ghana Female Genital Schistosomiasis Expert Committee. We are there for you. Right. And also, I think Mary Adomako made some ambitious comments, as to what she intends doing. And I wanted to advise her that when it comes to diagnosis, on the net, there's a WHO FGS Pocket Atlas for clinical healthcare professionals where she could explore from the internet. And this is going to help her with her diagnosis. Then also there's another document on questions and answers for workshops. You remember in May, there was a workshop, and from the workshop, there was a document developed on female genital schistosomiasis, which is also on the net. So she could explore these 2 documents to assist her with her training. Thank you very much. Over.
Thank you very much indeed, Joseph. So the FAST package does have a focus on 2 countries, Ghana and Madagascar. So it's important, and we welcome and appreciate your participation and contribution in the call going out to Ghana scholars. Please do follow up and respond. Let's now go. All right, so we're now going to have to call for volunteers to take on this next set of 4 questions. So please, otherwise we will designate a volunteer. Okay, I see Rabiu Ibrahim is not connected to the audio, so Rabiu is not going to be able to hear us. Do we have a volunteer? Let me put some, while you think about these questions, and really, what are you going to do today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because we'll be reconvening in a week and we'll be asking you, have you actually been able to do what you committed to? Let me. And Charlotte, is there someone you would like to call on to volunteer?
Oh, it's rather I'm going to invite Ruth Alote. I don't know, Ruth, if you are able to unmute yourself to share.
I'm asking Ruth to unmute. Indeed, it'd be interesting to hear from her. Ruth, are you able to speak? Perhaps she is not. Yeah. All right.
We can't hear Ruth.
No, it looks like she's not able to speak where she is right now. Is there someone else?
Okay, I don't know if Oluwatosin Odeyemi. Oluwatosin.
And you just heard,
Odeyemi.
Yes, from the National Neglected Tropical Disease Program of Ghana Health Service. Be good if you are from Ghana. It would be especially important to hear from you. But let's hear from Oluwatosin. Oluwatosin, what are you going to do today, tomorrow, Friday? All right, I see Rabiu Ibrahim is now connected to the audio. Okay, so
Oluwatosin is unmuted, but seems to be having connectivity issues.
Yes, all right. And again, I always say this is normal and healthy. Everyone's going to have connectivity problems. I don't think we're going to be able to hear Oluwatosin. Maybe Rabiu Ibrahim, I'm asking you to unmute. And I know Stella, Chinyelu, Judith, you have your hands raised. I'm just hoping to hear additional voices. I appreciate the fact that you were the first ones to step up. We're going to come to you if this is really a struggle. Rabiu Ibrahim, your microphone is unmuted. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, hello, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Ibrahim Rabiu from Nigeria. For a brief introduction, I'm a public health physician working in one of the 6 zones in Nigeria. And then I have my members across the 6 zone in Nigeria. Yes, the question now is how will this action help you? The action I've set for myself will help me to have to achieve one of my objectives, to create awareness among the community people, and also to create awareness among the health workers, and also to create awareness among the students that's still in the school that have not even graduated. So how I intend to achieve this is that, yes, we have radio programs, we have TV programs, and we are going to use this to reach out to the community. And I'm a lecturer in a teaching hospital, and and also my members in my WhatsApp group, they're also lecturers in the various universities across Nigeria. So
all right, it looks like we just lost Rabiu Ibrahim in the middle. Yes, and this will happen every time, and we're used to it, and it's okay. Rabiu, unfortunately, both your video was cut off. Let me see if I can. Yeah.
The health workers that are working, where we see most of these cases. This is what they were taking.
All right. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to hear the rest of us. Perhaps turn off your video, Rabiu Ibrahim. Whether or not you are welcome to type into the chat your responses to these questions to give feedback to your peers. I know that we had some exceptional demonstration of the exceptional level of commitment. Ogechukwu Aribodor, I believe you've just landed, literally. Are you able to speak to us? Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to hear from Rabiu Ibrahim due to connectivity issues. Ogechukwu, are you there? Are you able to speak to us?
Hello, Reda. Hello, everyone.
All right.
Good evening. Good afternoon. Just landed.
All right, welcome back. I know you actually had your flight delayed. You had made arrangements to be here, and you still managed to join us in the last 15 minutes. Please tell us what is motivating you, and second, what is the concrete action you're going to take this week? So, what are you doing today? What are you doing tomorrow? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Because next Tuesday we'll be asking you, did you do it? The floor is yours.
Okay. What motivates me is the fact that I want to help these children, the girls in the community where I teach. And the next line of action is I've just been told that my ethical approval is at the last phase. So the pilot study trying to test the knowledge, attitude, and awareness level of the university students in our community is ongoing now. So they're still feeling as that today I have about 200 respondents. So hopefully before we round up, I should have more. I want to use it as a pilot study before I get into the community with the ethical approval. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. All right, and we'll be hearing Tuesday. Did you do it? How did it turn out? What was there success? Was there a challenge? Was there a lesson learned? And that's what we'll be sharing together in order to support each other. Now, do we have another volunteer to share around these 4 questions while you think about it? And Charlotte, perhaps you can help choose and volunteer someone. Again, right after this session, check your inbox because you're going to receive a very important email. And we'll ask you to answer 2 questions. All right. There are only 2 questions in this questionnaire. We're going to ask you what is a specific goal that you want to achieve by October 15th. And be careful because we'll be asking you, we'll be holding you accountable. On October 15th, we'll be asking you, did you do it? How did it turn out? What did you learn from progress towards the goal? And second, even sort of in a tighter time frame, what is the action you're going to take this week? Again, I'm repeating myself, but it's what are you doing today? What are you going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? We know you're busy. You have a busy schedule, a busy life. You made this commitment. You signed the pledge to achieve impact. You signed the Scholar Pledge. So what are you going to do about it? You will receive an email notification as soon as you submit your answers to these 2 questions so that you can refer to it tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and look, have I done this? I said I would brief my supervisor and my colleagues about my action plans. Well, have I done it? Once you've done it, that's a success that you can report back to the assembly next Tuesday. And then the goal that you will achieve by October 15th, is it doable? By October 15th. Again, this is not like the goal of your entire action plan. This is what can you do in the next 2 weeks that will help you concretely. All right, we have 9 minutes left. Let's go. Charlotte, who shall we hear from next?
Thank you, Reda. I have a little bit. So I'm going to invite, there is Sedonia Abapori. Sedonia, I don't know if you're able to unmute yourself. I hope connectivity is on your side.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm Sidonia Abapori Adebua. I'm speaking from Upper East in Ghana, one of the regions. Earlier, I said I wanted to be able to get all our prescribers in the sub-districts trained. And then that was the first training. We were able to get them trained. But what we've not been able to achieve is for them to do a step-down training for the other health staff in the various sub-districts. Because mostly if it's one person who gets the training, the idea, and the person is not available in the facility, then it means that work is not done. So we want to see if we'll be able to get the other staffs also trained. And then, so for tomorrow, we are having a small training session for people. What we usually do is to join the trainings together to do an inclusion kind of thing, because we don't have specific funding for this. So as and when you have the opportunity, then you use the that opportunity to take others through. So tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll be meeting a cross-section of the health staff. I intend to use the opportunity to take them through too. But for the learning materials, I've already shared those ones on our WhatsApp platforms that everybody should go through it. So as and when they have questions, then you come online with the question on the platform, then we assist each other in solving it. So from tomorrow, that's what we'll be doing. And I'm hoping that by the 15th, we should be able to get almost all our health prescribers in the sub-district trained for us to achieve our goal. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much indeed, Sidonia. Are you in touch with Joseph Opare and the national NTD team in Ghana? That's I want to make sure that that connection has been made.
Yeah, I just saw when he was making the presentation and said we should get in touch. So I wanted us to finish when the questions area, then we'll ask how we can get in touch, because we are far away from the regional, the capital, Accra. I'm speaking from the upper east of Ghana.
I understand. Thank you very much, Sidonia. And we heard you, of course, in the special event last Wednesday. And look forward to hearing about your successes and along the way the challenges and the lessons learned as well. All right, I want to. We have 5 minutes left. There are a number of distinguished global experts on FGS we have not heard from yet. I want to make sure that the participants benefit from their feedback, guidance, insights. So I want to go to Alison Crantel, and then we also have Caroline Pensotti, who is in the room with us. And let me know if I'm missing anyone, if any of the other SMEs would like to share their closing thoughts. We need to listen and learn from you as well.
Thanks very much, Rita, and great to hear. Congratulations to everyone who's made it here, and it's been wonderful to hear the action plans that have been presented this morning. I would just a couple of thoughts just to bring out there. Sidonia, I enjoyed hearing what you're doing, and would just encourage you perhaps a good opportunity to see with Dr. Opare about the availability of praziquantel, and to link in with the national program on that. And just one sort of note, and I know you all are more aware of this than I am, but just the difficulty sometimes of getting people to commit to meetings or to get them scheduled. So don't forget sometimes in your planning the challenges to get people signed up for meetings and things. But I also just want to flag the resources. I'm happy to put those back into the chat box, but there are great resources. And please do let us know if there are questions. I know we'll remain in touch with you. If there are questions, outstanding questions that we can help you to get answers for, technical questions about the disease, about the treatment, about diagnosis. There are SMEs on this call, but there are others that we can also reach out to if we do not know the answer. So please don't be shy to send us questions. You can always reach out through the Geneva Learning Foundation, and then obviously through the Fast Package website as well. So do keep us posted if there are any outstanding technical questions that you have as you implement your action plans. But thanks, and I'm looking forward to the next steps. Thanks very much. Thank you so much, Alison. And you heard that very concrete offer of support. Don't miss it. This is an incredible opportunity to benefit from such support. Caroline Pensotti, I've asked you to unmute. I don't know if you're going to be able to speak to us. Yes. Okay, wonderful. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts as we close this assembly?
Thank you, Reda. So just to echo what Alison said about you sort of reaching out and using the knowledge and expertise and resources that are available. But I also wanted just to say I've been so impressed by the level of enthusiasm and commitment and really the innovation with all our participants. It's so fantastic. I think I would say just to close, just to keep in mind that your goals are SMART. So they're specific, they're measurable, and they're achievable. So really thinking, what is my goal and how will I know that I have achieved it? But I wish you all the best of luck, and please do reach out if you need any support. Good luck. Thank you, Reda.
All right. Thank you very much indeed to those of you who have participated today. We know, we're in touch with a number of people who couldn't make it, but who are really ready to participate in this event. Now, Charlotte, for those of you who are here early, gave it away. But Charlotte, we have a particular way in which we launch the accelerator. Are you ready for liftoff?
Definitely ready.
All right. So without further ado, we'll let you make sense of it for yourself. This is about human achievement. This is about the possibility of humans working together to reach further and to reach for the moon.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.